Hello, my name is Brittany, and I'm currently doing my Bachelor's of Education at UIT, and my teachables are Biology and Physical Education. So today I'm going to tell you a little bit about my vision of teaching and learning. My vision is similar to why I wanted to become a teacher, which you can see here under Personal Statements from Foundations 1 is where I talked about my reasoning. I want to be a teacher because I want to make a difference in students' lives. I want to positively influence their learning and make an impact on their experiences growing up. I want to be a teacher because I want to help the students that felt like they couldn't do it anymore. Help the students understand something that they couldn't figure out no matter how many times they tried. I want to change the way a student looks at a subject. I want to be a teacher so that I can make an impact on students' education. That makes them want to just keep going. I want to open up doors in education for students who don't know where to go and what is out there. In Foundations 2, under Weekly Prompts, Week 1, I said that everybody had those teachers that made a difference in their lives, and sometimes those teachers saw the best in you when you never did. As a teacher, I want to have the perspective that everyone there has something to offer, and you can help them be the best they can be. I want to teach kids about science, but not just the ones that love science. I want to impact the ones who don't like science. The most important aspect to becoming a teacher is you need to know your students, and relationships matter. When I talk about relationships, I mean you have to connect with your students on a personal level, showing them that you care about them and their learning. Of course, when you're building relationships with students, you have to keep in mind professionalism, because it's important to follow the ethical standards of teaching and the OCT guidelines. In Foundations 2, we watched a TED Talk from Rita Pierson, where she talked about the importance of building relationships. One of the things I agreed strongly on that she spoke about was that kids don't learn from people they don't like. And that's why I think that it's important to make the learning environment in your classroom student-centered. If learning is student-centered, then it engages the learners and creates an atmosphere where they feel appreciated and like their voice matters. If learning is student-centered, then the education will have real connections with the students as it becomes more relatable. Under Foundations 1, in our guiding questions for Week 2, we also spoke about this and why it's important to create an environment where it's student-centered. This is why incorporating technology is extremely important in today's society. If you find ways to use a technology that students are already bringing to your classroom, you can engage them in your learning. You might also reach different students' learning by using technology. Every student learns differently, and it's important to provide learning for all. In digital literacy, in our first semester, we talked about the different technology tools that you can use in your classroom that can engage the students in their learning. Using these technologies, you can see what the students' preferences are and what they enjoy so that you can gear your lessons to be something that they will actually relate to. It also will make the learning fun, and it will mix up your lessons so that you're not always doing the same thing. In Foundations, we did an infographic on residential schools. This is something that you could do also with your students, which I think is really interesting. And it would be really cool to do something on residential schools with your students, because many of them are unaware of what these are and what the impacts had on people. Well, that is basically a summary of my vision of teaching. So thank you for listening and have a good day.